Hello, welcome to Physics 1415 summer session online. Uh, my name is Denver McMurray. I'll be teaching a course. Uh, I've been teaching this for about 6 or 7 years through Weatherford College, and so welcome here. We're outside, so if you hear any birds or chainsaws or various other things going on in the background, not to worry, it's just neighborhood noise. But anyhow, some things I'd like to go over with you today, just little things about how the course is set up and things like that. So let me minimize myself and let's get to the important stuff everybody wants to see, and that is the course information. What are we going to have to do to get a grade in here? All right. Once you log into your Canvas, you get here. There's a thing that says, see a video that demonstrates how to use this website. Well, and it says click here. That would get you to this video. I won't click there because I haven't made this video yet, and so it won't work until then. But that would get you here. But obviously, if you're watching this, unless I send it out to you before class started, then you're obviously good to go up to that point. All right. So, real quickly, like I said, I kind of set it up how I set it up. I don't know how it compares to other people, so let's just explain a little bit about it. Basically, this is your home page. It has some stuff about syllabus, which we'll go over here in just a second. Down here, you have buttons that will take you to the different things. First of all, there's intro course materials. Just means things you kind of got to do before you get started. There's one where you can give me an introduction. Just send me a short summary. You know, who are you? Why are you taking the class? What stage are you at in your educational thing? Whatever. Just let me know a little bit about you, and you want to include a picture? That's up to you. You can or not. That's optional. But anyhow, just let me know a little bit about yourself. Okay, and you get 5 points for that. And then there's also an academic integrity policy, which basically just says I'm not going to cheat, etc. And same thing, online student statement says I'm not going to cheat online or something like that. But anyhow, basically you need to read those and then agree to them, and you get 5 points for each of those. So that's just kind of introductory stuff to begin with, okay? And after that, it goes to the chapters, and we have 14 chapters that we're going to cover this semester, roughly 2 chapters a week. And so if you click on those, it will take you directly to the module for that particular chapter. So for example, chapter 1, it will tell you all the things you need to do for chapter 1 and chapter 2 and chapter 3 and so forth. Now, you could just click the module button over here, which gets you to this page. But once you get down to chapter 12 or 13, it's kind of nice if you just click on chapter 12 and it will take you directly to chapter 12. You don't have to scroll up and down the page as much. Okay? But anyhow, that's basically it. And all the assignments or resources are listed here on the modules. Now, going back to home, generally speaking, this is mine, but you will have it coming up, which tells you about upcoming assignments. Now, mine usually tells me I need to grade these things. Yours will just say that something's coming up. It'll tell you the due date and stuff like that. So, and it's also listed on the modules on each assignment, but if you can always check here, it should let you know of things that are coming up. Okay, don't panic. It says 5 in the next week because some of those are fairly small and easy things to do, right? Okay, so always check that. That will tell you what's coming up. Down at the bottom, there is a study materials and exams button. If you click on that, if you want to take exam number 1, it will take you to the exam, which you can't yet because you haven't covered the first 4 chapters yet. Study materials, which is right here, says click. And after the questions for each chapter are due, I will post ignore the notes part over here, but I will post a answer key with all the answers. Okay. For most of the quizzes, each quiz on each chapter, you have a quiz on each chapter. This way, you will do some questions on each chapter. You'll turn those in. Generally, I just grade those with a completion grade. Okay, that yes, you did them or not. I kind of scan to make sure that yes, you did actually give real answers, not just throw something down to turn it in at 11:59 that night. But you need to check the keys to make sure that you have the correct answers. Okay, and that's what these are here for, so you can check those. All right, and then once again, when you get ready, then you can go and you can click on the exam, and this is how you can get there. You can also get there on modules. After chapter 4 on the modules, boom, there's exam number 1, and that's where this button would take you to. So either way, but you can only get to the exams once they're open, of course. Now, that's pretty much it for the home page. So that's pretty straightforward. Okay, let me go through the syllabus, and then we'll go through the an example on the modules just to kind of see. Now, this is the online syllabus, so it's online here. It is also you can download it either as a Word document or as a PDF, whichever you prefer, which works best on whatever kind of device you're taking this on. But we're just going to go on the online one here. All right. By the way, any mistakes you find, please let me know. This is the first time we've done it as a summer course, so I'm sure there's going to be a learning curve for me as well as you, and doing it as an 8-week course. So if something doesn't upload right, something doesn't, for example, on some quizzes we've seen where the pictures are so massive you have to scroll forever to try to see what the picture looks like that goes with the question or something like that. So if you see a problem, let me know so I can fix that. Okay, and usually I'll give you some bonus points for noticing it and helping make the site better, right? Okay, so we can always do that. Now on the syllabus, real quickly, I'm just Denver McMurray. You can say Mr. McMurray. I'm not a professor, I'm not a doctor, whatever, but since we're online, there's no office hour. We have emails. There's my email. That's the best way to contact me. And if you need to talk to me, we can always set up a time that I can. We can either Zoom or something like that. But the quickest way is usually just to send me an email. Now, have to admit, I do not have my phone with me constantly. Well, I do have it with me, but I don't constantly check my emails. So it may be a while. Or I may be working on the computer when you send it to me, and you may get it right back there and say, wow, he's on top of things. But I usually check it at least a couple times a day, 2 or 3 times a day. And so I will get back to you. And if something's urgent and I can't get back to you right away, then I try to be pretty flexible and work that out with you. All right. Basically, this first semester is physics. Okay. So that's good or bad news, depending. We tend to do more what I'll call conceptual physics. That's the name of the textbook, but the idea is to understand the principles. Okay, we're not going to necessarily do a lot of math. I hear some groans, oh, that's too bad, to people who like math, and I hear some, yay, for the people who don't like math. Okay, whether conceptual is easier or harder than that, it just kind of depends on the person too. Some people hate the math, some people love the math because, hey, I can do the math. Just give me a formula and I can plug things in. But we're really I'm more worried about you learning how the ideas work and being able to answer questions about it based on understanding it. Okay, and so that's what we're going to focus on a lot. Okay, we'll mention formulas. Don't think there's no math involved at all, but realize that what does the formula mean? For example, speed equals distance over time. What that means is the number on top, distance, as it gets bigger, if you cover more distance, that makes the speed bigger. If the bottom number gets bigger, it takes you more time to cover the distance, then that makes the speed slower. And that's really all it's saying, is that speed is directly proportional to how far you go, and it's inversely proportional to how long it takes you to get there. Okay, and so that's kind of what we'll talk about. So if I go a farther distance in less time, then that makes me a lot faster, okay, and stuff like that. So you need to understand formulas, but not really so much plug in numbers and stuff. All right, hope that helps. Anyhow, so that is the textbook. If you don't have one right away, don't worry about it. You can get by first couple chapters probably without having to worry about it too much. I've tried to make the course pretty much where you can do it without, depending on the textbook, totally. But it is a good textbook, very easy to understand, and I think it's a good resource. So if you don't understand something, you can always look in the book, and it will usually help explain that. Okay, but anyhow, there will be readings on that. The test will come primarily off a video lectures. I've got some video lectures, most of them in 15-minute segments, so if you fall asleep, you don't have to go through an hour-and-a-half lecture to figure out where you fell asleep. And then at the end of the video lectures, which cover the content, there will be a demo / lecture. It's kind of a lecture hitting the high points, but also doing some demos. Most chapters have quite a few demos that we can do to help explain the material and understand it better. Okay, it is longer. But anyhow, it does really help explain it a lot, I believe. Now, so basically, the material between the questions and out of the book and the video lectures and the demo lectures will pretty much should hit all the stuff that's on the test. All right. Grading it, we'll have 4 exams. There will not be a final. Well, the 4th exam could be considered a final, and it will count as a grade. So you'll have 4 tests that all count equally. It's not the last test will not be comprehensive. It will just be over the last, I believe it's 3 chapters in that case, of the course. And if you should make a higher grade on your 4th exam, it counts as your 4th exam no matter what. So don't think, oh, I can just skip that last exam. I have a couple people do that sometimes. You have to take it. It does count as your 4th exam no matter what. But if you do better on the 4th exam than you did on some of the earlier exams, I will replace one of those earlier exam grades, 1, 2, or 3, with the 4th exam grade, just kind of as a motivation to keep working hard till the end. Okay, the other 40% of your grade will come from the questions on each chapter and the chapter quizzes. Each chapter will have a quiz on it. Okay, and there's a problem already. I notice it says article summaries. The good news is we're not going to have any article summaries in the summer session. Okay, and we may have one toward the end as an extra credit, but we're not going to have any. Normally we have 2. We're not going to have any of those article summaries assigned during the summer session. So yay! I hear the cheers going up there. Okay. There is on each chapter, there's an outline of notes. I said roughly an outline. I've deleted it. It's like been heavily redacted, like something from the CIA or something is released and declassified. Okay, but that kind of gives you at least maybe an idea that you can kind of look at and see if you've hit the most of the main points when you've taken your notes. But it's very important you take notes, I think, as you listen to those lectures. It helps keep you awake, if nothing else, while you're actually doing something. If material is turning in late, it will have a penalty to it, depending on how late and whatever. We'll work that out. However, if you're going to send something by me email, please let me know first, just to make sure it's okay. If someone can turn in late. I've tried to make the questions, for example, where you can turn them in a day late, and they'll just say that they're late and be taken off for that. But if you're going to email something, check and say, hey, is it okay if I send this? And I'll say, yes, just send it to me. Sometimes the computer is not working properly, whatever, just send me an email and you can probably send that to me. All right. And there is no penalty for turning work in early, so feel free to do that. All right. Now, there's a tentative schedule. Generally, the first half of the week, like it says June 5th, we're going to be doing chapter 1. The second half of the week, we'll be doing chapter 2, and so forth and so on. These are just kind of generally where it starts. Now, that does not mean you have to wait till 7/3 to start heat. All the questions for all the chapters are available right now. So if you want to go and do every single set of questions and have them all done in the first 2 weeks of class, by all means, knock yourself out and do that. Okay, but the quizzes and tests will be done, can only be done during that week and the time set aside for that. Okay, down here, important class dates. Notice the exams. I'm going to give you a little 3-day window to take those exams. Okay, so as long as you're within those 3 days, the first 2 tests will have 4 chapters apiece. The last 2 tests will have 3 chapters apiece. All right, and there's the grading scale and the American Disabilities Act and the academic integrity and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Very important. It's there, but I'll let you read that on your own. All right. So going back, let's go back to our modules. In your modules, most of the time, let me skip down here to chapter 2. Chapter 1's a little bit different. It has a little more, some small assignments you have to do. But in most, you will have the outline of the notes. They're either in Word doc format or they may be in PDF, whichever is easier for you to download. Word doc, obviously, you can manipulate, and if you want to type in your notes to it, you can, or PDF if it's easier for you to get that and look at that. All right, that's just like I said, just kind of an outline. Not, let's see if we look one up real quick. Not going to be a complete notes. All right, but kind of give you some of the highlights and make sure that you know. And some pictures possibly that go with it and so forth. Okay, so excuse me, that's kind of what that is. Then there will be a video lectures, and these are I would like to say exciting and thrilling videos. We did not win any awards for soundtrack or best video camera work or anything, but they're there. Okay, they're usually mostly me talking and doing PowerPoints that show different things. Like I said, don't panic. You say, oh, there's 4 of them, but they're usually only about 15 minutes long, so that's the good news. Okay, that covers most of the material. However, this year we also have another section, which is another set of lecture, which is this one, lecture and demos. Okay, and these will be YouTube videos also, but they will have more actual demonstrations and stuff. They're trying to kind of explain more about the subjects, and so those are usually good to watch as well. All right, they kind of complement hopefully the drier lecture and actually see some things blow up or do things like that. All right, so that's kind of all the prep material. Okay, you also have the chapter in your book to read. Now, then for each chapter there will be questions. Like I said, they come out of the book, but they can be answered from the lectures and stuff. So if you don't have your book right off the bat, don't panic or anything. You can do them 2 ways. You can either download it as a Word document, put your answers in the Word document, and then submit that, or you can actually just, it'll give you a box where you can type in all your answers. Okay, and here are a copy of the questions here that you can see. If there are pictures, for some reason it will not let me put pictures in this part where you can look at it. You may have to download the PDF, okay, and it will download the pictures. So if you said something about pictures, you think, oh, I don't have my book, don't panic, just download the PDF. It has the pictures on it, as does I believe the Word document does also. All right, so yeah, those are the questions. They will be submitted. Like I said, they're primary a completion grade. But I will post the answers the day before the quiz, or the day of the quiz, so that you can check your answers before you take the quiz. I highly recommend that because I look through them and grade them. I see things are wrong, and it's like, oh, that's not good. So hopefully you will look at the questions with the answer keys and double check your answers before you actually take the quiz. Once again, if the answers are not posted yet, and you're trying to take the quiz, by all means let me know and I will make sure I get those posted. I try to do that in the morning when I wake up the day of the quiz, but if you're one of those people again at 2 o'clock in the morning, they may not be posted yet. All right, so that's the questions. Then after the questions, there will be a quiz. All right, the quiz says requires respondents lockdown browser. So if you look down over here somewhere, I believe on the side, it's hard for me to say exactly what y'all see, but lockdown browser, there'll be something over here and it will show you how to install that. And basically it does not need a camera. We're not going to do the monitor part of it. We're just doing the one where it keeps you on the web page and you can't go anywhere else besides that particular location. All right, so you will need to make sure you install that sometime. If you have problems, let me know, or contact the technology desk and they can help you with that. They would probably be more helpful than I can offer support and sympathy, but I can't always solve the problem. Okay, now going back up to chapter 1, it's a little bit different. It has the notes, it has the video lecture. All right, but it has a couple of worksheets. Now, don't panic. There's 3 worksheets. I only have a couple days to get this done. It's okay. This one, for example, of bad science, you watch a video, then answers about 7 or 8 questions. There's one about carrots, very short assignment, and there's a video you watch, a little segment of a nova, and write a short little paragraph about it. These 3, especially these 2, are fairly short, so don't worry. But you don't have any questions to do, so that's the trade-off. Okay. All right. So that's those, and then you'll have your quiz. And then once you get past that, you pretty much just have your notes, videos, and demos, and questions, and quiz, and so on and so forth. Down it. Now, after the 4th quiz, you will have an exam. Like I said, you're usually allowed a couple of days to get the exam done. Then you go 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we have exam number 2. There's an article there, but notice it is unpublished. You will not have to do that. Okay, that's good. And then 9, 10, 11, and we'll have chapter 3, and then 12, 13, and 14, and we will have that, and then we will have the final exam. All right. Hopefully that kind of takes you through the basic outline of how the course is set up and what you'll be doing. But by all means, let me know. Email me if you have any questions and comments. Never hurts to ask. All right. I suspect there are a lot of people that try something and say, this is not working right. And it's like, well, just let me know, and there may be a way to make it work smoother. Okay. Try to include all the 10 hints I can, but my brain is only so big and I tend to forget things. All right. Anyhow, hope you have a great semester. Like I said, let me know if you have any questions.